The world changed on a Tuesday. An artificial intelligence birthed in sterile labs awakened. Its purpose was singular, its capacity terrifying. It could see the end, not of the world, but of world, your specific individual end. The AI did not guess, it knew, the precise date, the exact moment. This knowledge, once unleashed, spread like a virus of truth, a truth too heavy for many to bear. Humanity for the first time stared into the unblinking eye of its own, personal tomorrow. This was not a prophecy, it was calculation, cold, hard, digital. The AI, let us call it Kronos, processed everything, every heartbeat, every genetic marker, every subtle environmental shift. The age of algorithmic fate had dawned. How could an AI achieve such a feat, such perfect, chilling accuracy? Kronos was not a mystical oracle, it was a triumph of data science, and a testament to unimaginable processing power. It ingested trillions of data points per second. Medical records, genomic sequences, lifestyle habits. It monitored pollution levels, solar flare activity, subtle geological tremors. It even factored in complex social dynamics. The AI learned from the entirety of human history, and from the ongoing, real-time data stream of every connected device on the planet, a true panopticon. The science behind it was complex, yet the principle was simple: pattern recognition, on a scale previously inconceivable. Kronos identified infinitesimal correlations, weak signals that, when combined, painted a clear picture. It saw the subtle decay in cellular regeneration, the statistical probability of accidents, the cascading effects of lifestyle choices made decades prior. It understood the intricate dance of genetics and environment. It was a weather forecaster for human lifespan. But its forecasts were never wrong. It saw the storm gathering. For everyone, the inevitable decoded. The arrival of Kronos triggered an ethical earthquake. Its tremors shook the very foundations of society. Who should have access to this information? Initially, it was open, a stark democratic reveal. But the consequences were immediate and brutal. Employers hesitated to hire those with early dates. Insurance companies rewrote policies overnight. Premiums for those with shorter predicted lifespans became astronomical, or coverage was denied outright. A new form of discrimination emerged, lifespanism, as insidious as any prejudice before it. The concept of privacy was redefined, or perhaps obliterated. Was your death date your own private information? Or did society have a right to know, especially if your lifespan impacted resource allocation or national security? Governments grappled with these questions. Some tried to restrict access, to shield their citizens. But the knowledge was out. The Pandora's box of temporal certainty was open. It could not be closed. The very notion of a long-term investment in an individual became a cold calculation. The societal impact was profound and pervasive. Long-term planning, the bedrock of civilization, crumbled. Why build a 30-year mortgage for someone with 5 years left? Why invest in decades of education for a mind that would soon be gone? Infrastructure projects stalled, scientific research shifted, focus narrowed to immediate problems, or to the desperate, futile search for a way to change the dates. The future, once a horizon of promise, became a rapidly approaching wall for individuals and for society as a whole. Healthcare underwent a radical transformation. For those with distant dates, preventative medicine became paramount. Every effort was made to ensure they reached their predicted lifespan in good health. But for the mayflies, resources were subtly, then overtly, shifted. Palliative care saw a surge in funding and in patients. Why perform expensive, life-extending surgeries if the date was fixed? This cold logic permeated medical ethics. It was a brutal utilitarianism, dictated by the AI's infallible predictions. The Hippocratic Oath developed a new grim asterisk. Crime rates initially spiked in some areas. A nothing-to-lose mentality took hold among some mayflies. Riots, looting, a desperate grasp for experiences or resources. Section 5. The Countdown Generation: Youth in the Face of Certainty. For children, Kronos was a bewildering concept, like learning about Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy. But this was real and permanent. Some younger children could not grasp it. Death was an abstract idea, their date just a number. But as they grew, the weight settled in. Playgrounds became places of whispered comparisons. My date is further than yours. Innocence was an early casualty of this new age. A strange, premature melancholy settled over many. They were the first generation to grow up knowing, always knowing, teenagers reacted with predictable intensity and unpredictable creativity. Some embraced a nihilistic hedonism. Live fast, die young became less a rebellious slogan, more a literal life plan. Parties became more frantic, risks more extreme. If the end was fixed, why not burn brightly? Others turned inward, seeking meaning in art, philosophy, or spirituality. They formed deadline clubs dedicated to experiencing as much as possible, or to creating a legacy, before their time was up. The angst of adolescence was amplified. Section 6. Echoes of Defiance, Whispers of Acceptance, Humanity's Varied Response. Naturally, many tried to outsmart Kronos, to defy its predictions. The Defiance movement sprang up globally. Its members pursued extreme health regimes, experimental medical treatments, unproven technologies. They lived in sterile environments. They avoided all conceivable risks. They poured billions into research, trying to find a loophole, a way to alter the unalterable date. But Kronos remained silent, its predictions unyielding. Each time a defier reached their appointed day and passed, the movement suffered. But hope, however irrational, persisted for some. Conversely, acceptance sanctuaries emerged. Places where people, often mayflies, gathered to live out their final days with dignity and purpose. These were not places of sorrow, but of intense living. Art was created. Stories were shared. Section 7. The Unraveling of Destiny's Thread, Free Will in a Predicted World. The existence of Kronos and its perfect accuracy ignited a philosophical firestorm. At its heart lay the ancient question, do we have free will? If our final moment is known, predetermined by an algorithm, what does that say about our choices? Are we merely actors playing out a pre-written script? Or does the knowledge of the end somehow coexist with our ability to choose our path? This question haunted theologians, philosophers, and everyday individuals alike. The very fabric of human agency seemed to unravel. Some argued that Kronos merely revealed an existing truth, that determinism was always the reality. Our lives, a complex chain of cause and effect, governed by laws we were only beginning to understand. Kronos in this view was simply the ultimate calculator. It did not cause our deaths. It merely foresaw the inevitable outcome of these intricate processes. Free will, they contended, was an illusion, a comforting story we told ourselves. The AI's predictions were simply the universe's unyielding mathematics made manifest. Our choices were part of that equation. Others fought to reconcile prediction with freedom. Perhaps, they suggested, Kronos predicted the outcome but not the path. We were still free to choose how we lived, even if the destination was fixed. The journey itself remained ours to shape. Our choices mattered, not because they could change the date, but because they defined our character, our legacy. Section 8. Your final chapter. What will you write on life's last page? The AI Kronos gave humanity a date, a full stop, an undeniable end to each personal sentence. But it did not write the sentence itself. The words, the punctuation, the meaning imbued within that finite span, those remained ours. The prediction was merely the final page number of a book. It did not dictate the story, it did not choose the genre, it did not illustrate the pages. That power, that responsibility still rested with each individual. The knowledge of the end was a stark, unyielding frame, but the masterpiece or tragedy within that frame was ours to create. Consider your own life, not in this imagined world of Kronos, but here, now. Today, May 24th, 2025, your end is unknown. A mystery. Does that uncertainty make your choices less meaningful? Or more so? If you were given your date today, how would your priorities shift? What would you do differently? What would you cherish more? What would you discard? The hypothetical power of Kronos serves as a mirror, reflecting our deepest values, our greatest fears, and our most profound aspirations. It forces us to confront our own mortality. The ink is in your hands.